MLB DFS picks, Monday night, August 5th, the out of the base path picks. They're kind of all out of the path picks today. You can go in any direction because the top isn't as heavy as we see on some slates. It's a decent sized slate, but still, the top isn't really just completely standing out. And there's a lot of value in mid range pitchers. We'll just start at the top. Tyler Glass now. Yeah, he is having a great season. Big time K rate, but do you really want to take him against Philadelphia? It's been 10-2. Probably not. Hunter Brown, not coming in cheap, does get a favorable matchup against Texas, but probably doesn't have his normal upside. Yeah, 9.8 Ks per nine, but he's facing a Texas team that doesn't hit very well, but they don't strike out that much. So are you really going to get the upside? Aaron Nola, having a pretty good season. Not the super elite pitcher we thought he was going to be at some point, but he still is very much a top tier. But he's facing the Dodgers. Do you want to spend 8-8 for him in a matchup with the Dodgers? At Los Angeles, probably not. Zach Gallen, another solid quality pitcher, but he's facing the Guardians, who are starting to heat back up, and they have the best record in baseball at home. Why spin there? Logan Webb is probably the first top-tier pitcher that you're going to go to. Good matchup against Washington. You could consider it, but again, he is not absolutely awesome. I don't know why Logan Allen is 8,400. He returns from the minors because of the Tanner Bybee injury. He has not been very good this season, as you can see with his stats, and he is facing Arizona, who are pretty stinking hot at the moment. Now, some of those stats are inflated by a week ago absolutely demolishing Patrick Corbin, which happens to be on this slate. Corbin, who, if you are crazy, and I would not recommend playing him, but if I was going to be devil's advocate from July 24th to June 24th to July 26th for a month, he had a sub 4 xFIP, was a quality pitcher. Not really scoring a lot of fantasy points, but then that all blew up his last start when he gave up 13 hits, 10 runs. Yikes. Singer versus Boston, you've got the K upside, but I really don't want to throw the righty against them. JP Sears is going to be the guy. It's crazy. I wrote him up in my Target article that we go all the way down to 7,700. He's the stud. But price per dollar wise, and maybe not even price per dollar wise, Sears has more upside than a lot of the other pitchers based on the matchup. He's facing the White Sox. His strikeout numbers haven't been that great on the season, but they've been a lot better lately. If you read my DK Network article, it's free. He's been phenomenal over the last month or so. Was exceptional in his last start. 9 strikeouts, no earned runs, 7 innings pitched. Really coming into his own. So again, the strikeout rate is up. The walks are down as well over his recent surge. And he's facing the White Sox, 24% K rate versus lefties. 127 ISO, 286 WOBA, 82 WRC plus. Sign me up. Not going to risk it with Paxton. Nick Martinez is an interesting option. Miami is not the complete losers that they have been all season. They've played better of late, but still, if we zoom out over the season, 23% K rate versus righties. Low ISO, low WOBA, low WRC plus. Ballpark boost for Nick Martinez, who has pitched pretty well in the back end of Cincinnati's rotation, like most of their starters. Definitely in play. Not going to go with Corbin. Rodri Munoz, just too many home runs. Can't go there. I don't see the risk. There's better plays. Rather go to Martinez. Obviously, rather go to Sears, a little bit more expensive. Cincinnati can manufacture a lot of runs. And this guy is walking too many hitters, allowing too many home runs. Maybe it will eventually normalize, but I don't think I need to wait around on that today. Cannon is in a bad spot. Probably like to stack against him with Oakland. Cannon doesn't strike hitters out. You want to beat Oakland, you got to strike them out. He doesn't strike people out. Tough spot. Kyle Hendricks, you're going to probably want to stack against him. Minnesota looks like they're healthy. You got to check in on Byron Buxton, who left Sunday's game. If he's back in the lineup, then it's going to be a pretty appealing Minnesota lineup. Festa's the guy. Shouldn't end the pod with Festa, but been talking about him constantly. You're probably looking at the 6.98 ERA. All you got to do is step over here to the 387 xFIP. And then step back over here, 9.8 Ks per 9 in 4 starts. of his career. Jumps into his majors and is striking hitters out. That means his pitches and stuff are good. He is in control. You look at his minor league stats for the number 4 prospect, one of the top MLB prospects. Great in the minors, striking everybody out, not walking hitters. What more can you ask for? He cannot control once contact is made. And that's why his traditional stats look rough. In his first outing, he got Babbitt. I mentioned that over and over and over. In his second start, he gave up 3 home runs. Tough luck. Then against the Phillies, great game. Then against the Mets, another solid game. Now he draws a pretty soft matchup against the Chicago Cubs, 24% K rate. For a pitcher who is striking out a lot of guys. Festa at 6,100 is an obvious pick. In the way that I see it, you take Festa at 61, you take JP Sears at 77, and you basically can play any bat you want, make any stack that you want. You want to spend up, you could probably convince me to spend a little bit of money on Logan Webb, but I don't think you really need to. I think you have to go with the out of the path play, resist the urge that, well, I've got to get a top tier pitcher. This is just not that slate. Well, it's Tyler Glasnow. This is just not the place. It's Hunter Brown, Aaron Nola. They're just not in good spots. And honestly, DraftKings probably could have priced some of these guys up a little bit more. They didn't. So you get a steal on Festa, who no one wants to roster. He is not going to remain cheap for much longer. JP Sears' salary is climbing because he is producing, and it's going to go up even further in a very good matchup against Chicago. They're discounted. Resist the urge to pay more. Resist the fight that says, oh, he's got to get these elite options. By the end of the season, JP Sears could be elite. By the end of the season, David Festa could be a top-tier pitcher. It's just early on both of these guys. And I would rather be early than late. Thanks for joining me. Like, subscribe.